the Farmer Veteran Coalition, some of the stuff we do. And then I guess I'll introduce myself. So I'm the program director, and so I manage the fellowship fund, the Gear to Give programs, the Homegrown by Heroes, and Market Maker. So at the end, we'll focus on those programs a little bit more, especially because right now the fellowship fund is going on. So, what is the Farmer Veteran Coalition? So, we are the nation's largest nonprofit assisting veterans and those currently serving to help veterans transition to civilian life by finding careers in agriculture and or starting their own farms or ranches. So, we provide support for farmer veterans in several ways. We have career counseling and job placement. We do training. We assist with business planning. We do market access, land access, capital access. Our members have product discounts. One of our biggest ones is Kubota. And all of our programs and services are free at no cost. We have a 1-800 call center. So if you ever need any technical support, they are happy to help you out. We were founded in 2009, and our national office is located in Waco, Texas. Go ahead to the next slide. Thank you. So who are our members? So you'll see our demographics reflects the military. We are growing very fast. I know at the end of the 2024, we had about 50,000 members. And as of today, I believe we have a little over 52,000. So we grow very fast. We add about 100 members a week usually. Usually when fellowship is going on, we add a little bit more. And so yeah, you can go to the next slide. And so community building is very important to us. You might know your local state chapter. The Texas chapter is awesome. We have 26 state chapters right now. This really helps provide collaboration on local projects, networking and relationship building, mentorship and educational opportunities. A lot of the veterans share resources, so like land, equipment, and of course, it's basically a national movement at a local level. We've divided the US into 10 regions. As you can see, it reflects the similar issues that have to do with climate, crops, livestock, and we have advisors that are in each of these regions that are helping solve some of these issues and helping the veterans and state chapters in those states. Next slide, please. And then employment's really important to us, as I mentioned. Right now, we are doing a Kubota Tech partnership. It's the Career Certification Pathway Program. It's a pilot program. The program focuses on technician jobs that require specialized certification. Once a certification is complete, veterans receive job placement assistance to fill positions at Kubota dealerships across the country. I believe they're looking for over 1,700 positions to be filled. So that's something we are currently working on. And then we also have agcareers.com, that partnership. It started in 2022 to support farmer veteran members find careers in the ag sector. Ag Careers also operates the Ag Warriors program, which you might have heard of before, to connect ag companies looking to specifically hire veterans with veterans who are seeking jobs. Our website does have a plugin, and it features remote ag jobs for those that might still want to be at home and trying to start up their farms and ranches, but also need that little bit of extra income in a remote job. Next slide, please. And then we are really getting into the food insecurity space. We have actually merged with an organization called Fields for Valor. It's a nationwide program to fight food insecurity among military communities. If you've seen our Homegrown by Heroes label and our Market Maker platform, we're going to really utilize those to try to conquer that 24% food insecurity that are on bases. That's kind of a newer project we have going on, and we're excited to expand on it. Next slide, please. And then also we have a mental health and well-being department. If you know Lawrence Roan on staff, he's amazing. He manages this department. He's awesome. We have a SAMHSA grant, and among the suicide prevention programs we provide is the QPR training, which stands for Question, Persuade, and Refer, as well as Safe Talk and Assist. I believe we do have a QPR training coming up at the end of the month. And then we also have been identified as a Center of Distinction for Advocates for Human Potential's RAP. It's That was a long mouthful. WRAP stands for Wellness Recovery Action Plan. It's a comprehensive tool that aids in navigating behavioral health challenges after significant life events. If you were at our national conference in Kansas City earlier or in October, they talked and it was great. So next slide, please. And then we come to the conference. So each year, FEC holds a national FEC stakeholders conference to bring everyone together for a couple of days of learning, networking, camaraderie. We have farm tours. It's always a lot of fun. FEC hosts also regional meetings throughout the country as funding and needs allow. Last year, as I mentioned, it was in Kansas City, Missouri. And this year, our conference will be in Illinois, October 26th through 28th. So make sure to mark that on your calendar. We haven't released details on where exactly in Illinois yet. We're looking at Moline, I believe. So hopefully I can see some of y'all there. It's always a lot of fun. Okay, next slide, please. I apologize about that. I don't know if you could hear it, but my work phone was ringing and there's no way to mute it, so I apologize. Okay, so now we get into the Fellowship Fund program. A lot of you have probably heard of this before. It was established in 2011, and we've awarded over $4.5 million in grants to nearly 1,100 farmer veterans. It is a small grant program that provides direct assistance to farmer veterans with awards ranging from $1,000 to $5,000. Purchases are made on behalf of the farmer veteran for equipment and other related supplies that will positively impact their ag business. So we don't write a check directly to the awardee. Instead, the awardee would go to their preferred vendor, request an invoice from them, and we pay the vendors directly. And then the application is now open. It opened January 3rd, and it must be submitted by February 14th at 11:59 p.m. Some of our major sponsors include Kubota, Wounded Warrior Project, Tractor Supply Company, and Tractor Supply Foundation. Next slide, please. And then with our partnership with Kubota, the Geared to Give program provides equipment and grants through the Fellowship Fund. Sometimes this can be a little confusing, but basically the Geared to Give application is integrated into the Fellowship Fund application. So as you go through the application, it's at the very bottom. You can opt in or opt out of it. Each year, Kubota awards 5 pieces of equipment through the Geared to Give program. This year, I believe it's UTVs, tractors, hay tools, skid steers. Maybe that's it. And since 2015, they have awarded 46 pieces of equipment. Next slide, please. So a few requirements for the Fellowship Fund. You must be a veteran member of FEC. This means that you have verified your service through the ID.me platform when you become a member. You must have served or are currently serving in any branch of the U.S. military. You must have received an honorable characterization of service upon discharge from the military. However, other characterizations of service may be accepted on a case-by-case basis. And then currently serving service members must provide a letter of support from their commanding officer or designated representative attesting to their characterization of service. And if you do need a template of that letter, we definitely have those at our support center. Next slide, please. And then you must have an ag business in operation and a business plan. The fellowship is designed to support for-profit ag businesses. Nonprofits are not currently eligible to apply. Previous fellowship recipients are only eligible to apply again if they've been awarded previously $1,000 or less. So this could be the BattleGround Fellowship, the Tractor Supply gift certificates. However, everyone is welcome to apply to receive equipment through Kubota's Geared to Give program. So let's say that you were awarded a Fellowship Fund grant last year of $3,000. You can apply again. You will only be put in the running for the equipment though. So you still fill out the application like normal and just make sure to opt in for the Geared to Give portion at the very end. You must be fully willing to participate in the program. This includes progress reports. We might ask you to become a mentor and a desire to make a positive impact on the farmer veteran community. We don't ask a whole lot. Usually at the end of the year, we'll put out a survey for you to do just so we can see the impacts that we made on your operation that year. Next slide, please. So for the application, you will need to upload a redacted DD-214. A member 4 has your characterization of service on it. There will be a short essay response. The prompt is in the application, and a business plan. The business plan must be no more than 15 pages. You are able to save the application this year and come back to it later. There's a checkbox at the very top. I always recommend copy and pasting your responses also in a Word document in case something does happen. And the application does consist of conditional questions, meaning that as you fill out the application, additional questions will appear based on your responses. I always like to tell people this because you might look at the application today real quick and be like, oh, there's just 5 questions. There's a few more than 5 questions. So make sure you look at that, and as you fill it out, more questions will appear. Next slide, please. And then scoring. So the scoring for the fellowship fund is done by a group of third-party reviewers. There's over 50 of them from Farm Credit, universities, agriculture organizations, veteran organizations, and they get a rubric with 7 categories on it, and they rate each category 1 through 5. Each application gets scored twice by 2 different reviewers, and so I average out those scores. We only check for eligibility here internally at the Farmer Veteran Coalition. So I average out those scores, and then the top scores are the ones I kind of make my way down the list of who gets awarded. So on that rubric, the first category is farm training and experience. The second is transferable skills. The third is personal investment. And then you can go to the next slide. Fourth is strategic request. So this is really, we're wanting to see that what you are requesting will make a long-lasting impact on your operation and also help you with those short-term and long-term goals, which goes to number 5, vision and goals for the future. Number 6 is community involvement. So has a candidate demonstrated previous involvement with FEC or veteran and or farming communities? So that could be BattleGround or Breaking Ground. It could also be going to a conference or being involved with the Homegrown by Heroes program, things like that. Next slide, please. And then the last one is unique impact. So what really sets you apart from everyone else? Next slide, please. Okay, so, and then we have our Homegrown by Heroes label. You have to apply to be a part of this program online. The Hope Fellowship Fund application is available on our website, as well as this application for Homegrown by Heroes. So it's the official farmer veteran produced branded products program, only program of its kind in the US. It certifies ranchers, farmers, foresters, and fishermen to sell their products as veteran owned and produced. You might have seen it at farmers markets. We have 19 partnerships with state departments of ag in order to create merged labels like this Illinois product one we have. It's just a cool way of representing your state as well as the HBH label. And then of course, HBH producers can sell products on Market Maker. I believe we have over 3,400 Homegrown by Heroes certified producers currently. It's always fun to see all the types of pictures. They use the label all over the place. It's really awesome. Next slide, please. And then you'll see the eligibility requirements are pretty similar to the fellowship fund. Agribusiness and farming operations must maintain a minimum of 50% veteran ownership and a minimum of 50% veteran management control. And then value-added products must contain a minimum of 50% non-water ingredients produced by an HBH producer. So that's how we kind of determine if you're eligible for the program or not. Next slide, please. And then Market Maker. So Market Maker is an agriculture product online sales platform that we offer to our members at no cost. They are easily able to be found on our map, on the Market Maker website and our website. It allows members to connect with new markets, and it also has some neat tools like the buy-sell forum. So let's say a food bank is needing something specific by a certain date, they can post on that buy sell forum, and those around that food bank get notified that they're in need of that. And also, let's say we have a lot of people that call our support center that may not be veterans and they're wanting to purchase from a veteran owned business. So we always lead them to that map to see, because it's easily, you're able to find, you'll filter out by veterans in Texas. It can even be from your county. And then you can also filter out the products you're needing, so beef. It's a really neat platform, and we're really trying to grow it right now. And next slide, please. And so that's our website, farmvetco.org. And then I think on the next slide, it has more specific contact information. Yeah, so there's our support center, and there's my contact information. Feel free to contact me. I've done a lot of webinars on the fellowship fund specifically. So if you're needing more information on that, let me know. But yeah, that's all I have. And thank y'all so much for having us. Like I said, I love the BattleGround to Breaking Ground program and working with you guys. It's been great. So.
Awesome, Abby. Thank you. That was really helpful. You guys add stuff all the time, and I'm always excited to get caught up on what you guys are doing and all your work with veterans and our farmers and ranchers. So thanks for all that you guys do. All right, you guys. So at this point, we are going to go ahead and open it up for questions. Like I said, you've got Abby, and she does a lot. Listen, she does all your fellowship application, getting the eligibility in and getting those questions answered. So now's your time you can ask her those specific questions, and we'll just kind of open it up. You can use the chat box feature, or you can just go ahead and unmute yourselves and ask questions.
Yeah, hey, I'll go. So hey, discovered you guys at an event up in Round Rock for veterans, and my first question is for the grant. I was looking to do more like startup costs, like fencing, and I know you were looking for like the maturity of the business and everything, but is there any appetite, or like what are the odds for approval if I look at like startup costs for fencing and everything to begin my own cattle operation?
Yeah, so basically we say that if you've incurred expenses and or received income from your farm or ranch, you're eligible. So if you can just still be getting started, but if you've done any of those things, you're eligible. Most of our members are beginning, and the majority of a lot of the funds that we award are for fencing. So if you're at the stage where you have a established business plan and you've received some type of income or put any expenses into it, then you're eligible.
Okay, good. And then uh, somewhat different question. Is there any way to get a list of other local farm to veteran members like in my area? Because what I've kind of looked for is more like a mentorship to have. I want someone with like a lot of white hair who knows what they're doing to show up on my farm and tell me what I should be doing.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so we can't obviously just give you like a list of names, but if you contact us, usually the Texas chapter helps us out with that, but we'll connect with a few people around you. We have like a map internally that we can see the member and then who all is around you. So we can definitely help you out with that. You can either contact me or the support center, and yeah, we'll definitely get that for you. That's usually kind of my it's always fun matching people up with mentors because people don't realize how close by somebody else is. So it's usually pretty fun. But yeah, we would love to help you out.
And
Well, that'd be
Abby,
great.
on that, because I know in the past, so like if you guys get with them and request a mentor in your area, like I've gotten an email from them before. Hey, we got this producer doing this in this area. Is anybody able to potentially provide mentoring for them? So that's, and most of us, and a lot of times if we can't, but we know somebody that can, even if it's not necessarily a veteran, we'll let them know, hey, here's contact information for so and so. They might be able to help out. So it's a great network.
And don't forget about your ag extension agent for your county. So they're typically folks who have been in production for a long time and will come out and kind of help you look at those. And that's a free service. And your NRCS, USDA NRCS agent can help with that as well. So we're big proponents of collaborating. Pull as many resources from as many places as you can to get as much help as possible.
Well, that's helpful. So thanks all to you guys for putting this on and for answering that question.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Thanks for asking.
I got a question. I don't know if it was this slide deck or was it just the one before, but the hands-on classes that you mentioned throughout the year, where are those all located?
So the meetings or the trainings?
I think it was the training.
So if you're talking about the hands-on
learnings.
learnings that Aaron mentioned at the very beginning of before we got into the Farm Veteran Coalition, those are held in different locations, predominantly out of the Nixon area, up around Waco, Mount Com, Kempner.
Okay.
So it's try to, if you can, go to the Texas AgriBuilty website and go to the events calendar. And if you subscribe to our newsletter, we send out a newsletter with those. And a lot of times we link in the stuff like FEC if they've got events and they send us the information.
Mhm.
We try to get it out onto our Facebook page, onto the newsletter, and or on the website on the calendar as much as possible too. That's the good thing about partners. We help each other out with some of that stuff for advertising.
Yes. Yeah. Don't forget about
Thank
Central
you.
Texas. We'll be doing, I think our cattle one, we're probably going to do at Thomas Ranch, which is kind of towards, no, it's like towards Huntsville. It's out there past Anderson. And then we have some probably here in College Station. So those are probably going to be a lot of Central Texas because our big research centers are there. But like when we do sheep and goat, we might go out to our San Angelo one. So it just kind of depends on what it is. But like Heidi said, join our you can join our calendar, I think, and that'll put some stuff on your calendar, but you can also just subscribe to our newsletter. That's probably an easy way to do it because we'll push that out.
I think I may be, I gotta double check. I think it may be already subscribed to the newsletter. I'll look for that. But thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't forget about boot camp. We've got boot camp for all of our incoming cohort members and it's open to John Q public too. I don't know if registration's still open or not. I have to ask Heidi, but that'll take
Boot
place.
camp, yes.
Yeah, and not next week, but the week after, and that's 5 days here in College Station, and we'll do a lot of training on kind of a little bit of everything, and then we'll do a lot of farm tours and some different things like that. So that's really good too.
On that, I reached out on the boot camp and I was told I could go to the boot camp, but the cohort was closed out. And if I wanted to do the cohort later, I'd still have to do the boot camp again in the fall.
So that's if you want the tuition waiver. So if you want to apply for the tuition waiver, then they close back in December just so we can get you guys enough time to come. But we do open it up for if you want to pay the tuition, then you can pay the tuition and attend. And your boot camp, the cost of boot camp's included in the price of tuition. So that's an option too. But our next cohort applications will open
May
probably in the
5th,
fall, 25th of
2025.
For
For
the-
the September cohort starting is September 8th. It'll open May 5th.
May 5th. Okay, sorry, I missed the month. So
Oh,
yep. I was like, 5th of what? So yes. And Josh, we can have one off. Well, you missed the cohort application. So, but if you came to boot camp once, it's pretty similar. You know, Heidi and I could visit and see if we couldn't make that possible. What we couldn't guarantee is that you would be selected for the next cohort because that is the competitive application process. So
I'll just try not to be special and I'll follow the normal thing and apply. I'll fly in May.
aw.
well,
We always gotta
we
have at least
appreciate
one
that. Thank you.
special in there.
We do. Yeah, there's always
Yeah.
one or two special ones in there, but I think we already have a couple of those. So we
You got your quota for that. That's good deal.
Yeah, appreciate it,
Well-
sir. And And it's always fun to come twice. I mean, man, I tell you, boot camp, we always have a great time. I learn something new every time because we have different speakers for the different topics typically. And like this one, we're going to have the rainfall simulator, and we're going to have some of the guys from the Center on Grazing Land Management and all that kind of stuff. So it's different than the ones we've done in the past. And everyone's kind of like that. So it's neat. Farm tours are different, that kind of thing.
The nice, wonderful thing about hosting it twice a year is, as much as we try to give an advance notice for folks on the dates, they have things that get set on their calendars too. So sometimes the speaker we like to get isn't always available.
And the centers that are primarily outdoors, we don't do those in the summer or early fall. Just try not to kill everybody. So we usually do the more of our kind of our indoor with some temperature control in the fall. So they just kind of make it's different, but they're good to come both if you can.
All right. Well, I'll throw in another question if I can.
Sure.
Um,
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I definitely intending on submitting an application to do kind of skill bridge piece of your program for the BattleGround to Breaking Ground. I don't know, granted, being still active duty, I'll have to work that through leadership, but say I'm not approved to do that, can that application still be used for the longer program? I presume that, and then I just have to figure out what kind of time works for me once I'm once I've retired. Is that kind of how that works, or would I need to reapply?
Yeah,
presuming I'm successful and accepted.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you'd have to apply again for the cohort tuition waiver. Our SkillBridge one is really condensed because for the most part, our folks who are coming out of the military, you've been in the military for the last however long, and so you don't have a whole lot of experience or current experience typically in ag. So the application for the SkillBridge program is pretty short, and your letters of support more or less are your commander signing off on your forms. If they think you're good enough, then we think that's good enough letter of support, really. And so that's different than our tuition waiver for the program. That is it's a little bit longer. Well, I say a little bit high, it's probably considerably longer. And then we require 3 letters of support for that one. And it's more competitive because in the SkillBridge program, really, if you fill it out and you're completing your answers and your timelines match up, I think for the most part we've accepted most folks who have applied to the SkillBridge program. Versus our cohorts, we haven't had a ton of applications in the last couple rounds, just almost right at what we accept. But we have had over 100 applications for 15 slots before. So it kind of depends. I would say the cohort's probably more competitive, but if you can match up your transition dates, because we do like I said, we do a spring cohort and a fall cohort, and we're able to adjust those dates by just about a week or so on front end or back end. But it's pretty tight. It's only, I think, 13 weeks now.
Mm-hmm. So the other thing too, if you do the STP application, save it. You should get a copy of once you complete, you should get a copy of the responses that you submitted. Because although there is a difference in the 2 applications, because with SkillBridge, we're usually asking some more detailed questions because like we need to know who your command is and also who your transition assistance person is, because we coordinate with those guys and let them know that you're applying that, and if we accepted you tentatively pending their approval so that they have a heads up. But there are a good handful of the questions that are the same between the 2 applications.
Yep.
We're not reinventing the wheel here. We're not going to reinvent what we're asking. There's just some slightly different questions or additional questions for the skill bridge due to the specifics of what we need to know for a skill bridge versus the things that we need to know for the regular program.
Copy that. Thanks.
Yes, ma'am. Any other questions for Farmer Veteran Coalition?
I got a question for Abby afterwards. We can let everybody
Okay.
else go though.
Okay, well, I've got one for so Abby, what common barriers have you seen that our military veterans or active duty military getting into production ag really face? What are some common things, and if you have any, cool success stories of ways that they've overcome those, that'd be great.
Yeah, so I would say from my perspective, it's they don't realize the resources they might have available. Um, like a grant program like the Fellowship Fund. Um, there's been so many people that have reached out needing funds, and they're like, oh, it's only $5,000. Is that really gonna help me get started? But then they don't realize that that can go towards so much fencing, or that can help you get your first few heifers, anything like that. So yeah, I would say just reach out and ask for resources that might be available, because you don't really understand what you have until you do that. So
Yeah, absolutely. And like I was kind of telling you guys, is those resources build upon each other, and Farmer Veteran Coalition is a great resource hub. So they've got their fellow, like the fellowship funds. We were awarded one year. We used it to buy a squeeze chute for our cows, and I use that a lot. So I it's really helpful, but they also connect you to a lot of other resources out there that can help you get started and get going. We have our Introduction to Ag Business course that's posted on AgriLife Learn that includes Farmer Veteran Coalition, but we have a whole like funding and technical assistance panel in there about all the different programs out there. And I'll just be open and honest with you guys that we've had probably close to almost $200,000 in outside investments through different agencies and organizations invested into our operation to get it going and keep it going. So there is so much out there if you know how to really tie those things together. And Farmer Veteran Coalition's a great organization to pull those things together, help you know what to look for, who to access, what questions to ask, where to go. And we are as well. So make sure you utilize as many resources that you can find. And I can tell you from my experience, there's really not been like a one-stop shop so far for all of the resources that there are out there. There's just too many for anybody to keep a list that updated. So leverage all of us. It's free to you to pick up a phone, call us, send us an email, and we'll get you as much of that information as we can. Any other questions, you guys? All right. Well, if there's no other questions, you guys can still use the chat. We're going to stay on for just a little bit longer. Thanks for hanging in there with us, and I apologize for not turning my video on. I had to run some horses out over my lunch break, and it's pouring rain here, so like a little bit like a drowned rat. So thanks for forgiving me on that. And if y'all have any other questions, you've got our contact information. Heidi, if you want to hit the next slide, it's got us listed on there, I think. There you go. There's all of our information as well. And thanks again, Abby, for joining us.
yeah, thank y'all for having me.
All right, we'll let everybody go, and I'll hang out for a little bit longer in case there's any final questions or anything.